Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to 3 perfect days in Chicago, the beginner's guide. This is a video I assume of someone traveling through Chicago, exploring the city. And as I've been doing recently, reacting to different cities in the US, I guess seeing people exploring them for the first time. Or not for the first time, but just exploring cities that they're in. And yeah, it's interesting to see these places. The sort of, I don't want to say the culture behind it, because these videos probably don't represent a lot of it. But it just shows a very brief idea of what the city is about, what it's like, the sort of scenery, I guess I don't want to say day-to-day life either, because it's not really showing that, but yeah, the cool sites to go to and all these different things. Chicago's a place that I'm pretty sure I've never done a video reacting to, like looking in depth at Chicago, and it's one of the major cities in the US, and I know like it's known for its skyscrapers, which I do have a pretty fond interest in, just because I think they're quite an interesting, they add obviously a lot to your skyline, but they're just a very interesting like thing that you don't really seem to find throughout Europe, other than I guess major cities. But I say major cities, I feel like major cities are maybe like Germany, England, but then other than that, probably like France. But I'd say even then it's a lot just of like historical buildings. So yeah, they're a very interesting thing to see. And Chicago being, I think Chicago's the home of them, of skyscrapers. Yeah, it has a lot and it's got a very cool skyline, but that's not what we're looking at for this video. We're looking at a whole variety of things, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully you're going to enjoy. If you're from Chicago and you watch this video to the end and you think it represents your city wrong, or you agree with it, let me know in the comments. But yeah, let's check this out and see what Chicago's about.
What would you do if you had 3 days in Chicago? Here are some of my thoughts to answer this question.
This is such a cool view, man. On the, like, I don't want to say it's on the beach, but I know Chicago has a beach area. It's on the coast, like right on the coast. It's so wild.
Welcome to 3 perfect days in Chicago.
There's a castle.
I'm Michael, and Chicago is one of my favorite cities in the United States to visit because of the many cultural, culinary, and captivating experiences all year long. For this itinerary, I'm checking into the Hotel Zachary.
This is a very bougie looking area
On Chicago's north side. This hotel is super unique because of its location in Wrigleyville, right across the street from the home of the Chicago Cubs, Wrigley Field.
That's very cool.
This hotel just opened a few years ago and is named after the architect that designed the famous stadium. I made a full video of this hotel, which you can check out later. Get a good night's sleep because we're hitting the city.
But look at this coastal area, for example. I feel like Chicago in the summer might be one of the top tier cities in the US. It's just the winter that, me personally, I don't know how I'd feel about it, because it gets so damn cold. But for certain parts of the year, it's probably competing for one of the better cities, especially in like the popular parts, I guess, that a lot of people prefer going to. But look at this area. It looks so like relaxed. Imagine like a summer's evening here. You've got an area, like, I guess, to have a picnic or go with a group of friends, drink. I mean, I guess you probably can't drink it, can you? But just chill, doing whatever, and then you could probably, I don't know how deep this is, maybe you could swim here or just rent out a boat or whatever it is. And you got this whole backdrop. It's mad.
City bright and early tomorrow morning for our first full day.
All right, it's our first morning in Chicago, so let's get out there and explore.
After a quick coffee from Printers Row and Lincoln Park, we're ready to head out. For this first morning of our Chicago adventure, we're taking a guided tour of Chicago's North Side. Bobby's Bikes is a tour company based in the Streeterville neighborhood of Chicago, which offers a variety of short and longer tours, as well as self-guided bike rentals. We signed up for the food and beer tour, which is 4 hours long and covers 13 miles of Chicago's North Side. Our tour guide was Lizzie, and she was so entertaining as she shared stories of Chicago history and many of the local and small businesses we visited on the tour. After a quick ride out of the River North area, we made our first stop at Lou Malnati's for a slice of pizza and local summer shandy beer.
Ah, looks good, that pizza does.
Next, the tour enters Lincoln Park with a brief stop at the statue of Abraham Lincoln before heading over to Molly's Cupcakes on Clark Street. These really are my favorite cupcakes that money can buy, and thankfully there are several locations around Chicago and even in New York City's West Village to grab these fresh, batter-filled, center, delicious, amazing cupcakes.
That's small cupcakes. Damn.
Our guide next takes us through the Lincoln Park
Let me
and
see
Lake.
those actually. Chocolate decadence, strawberry lemonade, gluten free, flourless molten chocolate, salted butterscotch caramel, red velvet lava, Samoa, whatever that is. Got caramel in it, it says. Peanut butter, Nutella, yeah, you can't go wrong. Ron Bennington, peanut butter and chocolate. Damn. Look at the cookies and cream one though, I feel like that would be a bit of me.
Our guide next takes us through the Lincoln Park and Lakeview neighborhood streets to see some of the traditional Chicago architecture homes and apartments along tree-lined streets to our next stop in Wrigleyville outside the famed Wrigley Field.
Here we go. This would be cool.
Lizzie took pictures of everyone outside the stadium's well-known Addison and Clark entrance.
I do like how it just seems very cultured in this region. When I say cultured, like the buildings look very, like they've got history, but they look very well kept. Obviously, I don't know about this stadium specifically, although it's very interesting just to see a stadium like this because you don't get stadiums that look like this at all in the UK. Like, it looks sort. I mean, obviously you can tell it's a stadium from like the upper bit, but the bottom bit it doesn't really necessarily look like a stadium. It's quite an interesting looking place, but I like it. And the scenery around it again.
Next, the tour stops at Wrigleyville Dogs for a Chicago-style hot dog, which is essentially a hot dog covered in everything you can imagine, except they are never served with ketchup.
Oh damn, is that a sin?
Around the corner,
Cardinal sin.
we stop at Murphy's Bleachers, a Cubs fan favorite bar, for a local beer before starting the picturesque finale ride along the lakefront trail back to the rental shop. This tour costs about $100 with taxes and fees,
Dang.
and all the food and drink are included in that price.
Oh, that's not too
I had a
bad.
great time and would totally do this again just for the views and the exercise and the food. For the afternoon, we're heading over to the West Loop. This neighborhood is going through a lot of changes, transforming from a warehouse district near the Chicago River.
I don't know what it is with like warehouse districts and them being converted into, I guess, trendy areas. But it does seem to work. And it always reminds me of like Manchester. I remember when I went to Manchester for the first time and it was just like, it seemed like, not a lot of Manchester, but parts of it were like that as well. Warehouse there, like areas that used to be warehouses or factories or whatever, that have been converted into trendier looking, like, I guess shops and restaurants, and it's just a really cool like thing to do because you get the sort of the history of the buildings that fit in well, but then you have all these places that you can go to as well. So I don't know what it is, but it's just very interesting to see.
Into a new hub for technology innovation with trendy food and shopping. To get here, catch the Pink Line to Morgan Station from the Loop. If you still have appetite after the morning bike ride, head to the Timeout Market Chicago. The Timeout Markets around the world bring local cuisine under one roof, and there's usually a good selection.
I love places like this.
I think they're a bit touristy, but I never say no to good food.
There's a few in my city like this, but not this big though.
A few blocks away is McDonald's World Headquarters
Classic.
and their test kitchen.
In their test kitchen, what? So they like make? Oh, that's well. Wait, so here you can just get foods around the world, like McDonald's foods around the world, or foods that they're testing. Oh, that is class. Wait, why is Chicago like the home of McDonald's or something?
The McDonald's store.
Big Mac, cheese and bacon deluxe. I mean, they're all things that I've seen. Oh, so you can get global favourites from Australia, Japan, India, UAE, Germany. Onion rings and a banana tree. Damn, this is wild. You can get ice cream cones here. Mad.
On the first floor has a sampling of McDonald's menu items served in their stores in other countries that you can't get anywhere else in the United States.
That is crazy.
To cap off the afternoon, head over to Millennium Park. On your way, grab a churro from one of the street vendors outside the Art Institute of Chicago.
Some Van Gogh. Aw. Doggy.
This is the Cloud Gate.
Here's the bean. I mean, I'm looking at this and thinking I can actually understand why it'd be so interesting to see because it's so big, and look at how it just distorts everything. I mean, look at the people there as well. It's a huge attraction. Damn, but it is quite cool. I mean, it's huge as well, so it adds to it.
Better known as the Bean. This sculpture was built just for Chicago's newest park and is a popular spot for tourists to grab photos. It's reflective and makes for some fun and silly camera angles.
You can go under it.
Right after my visit, the bean area closed for renovations, so make sure to check online before you go to see if you'll be able to get up close to it.
Oh, this is a cool... Wherever this is, it looks unreal. The hedges add a lot to this as well, but this walk looks beautiful.
Close to it.
Damn.
Nearby is the Grand Buckingham Fountain of Grant Park.
Shoots very high, doesn't it?
This fountain erupts on the hour with a giant column of water rising 150 feet into the air.
Damn.
Walking north along Michigan Avenue, you'll find the magnificent mile of shops on the River North neighborhood side of the Chicago River.
Look at the big buildings.
Stop into the Starbucks Reserve on Michigan Avenue to taste special blends of Starbucks roasts and some tasty sandwiches and pastries.
Damn.
Much of what you see at the Starbucks Reserve can't be found at a regular Starbucks location.
Why does Chicago seem to have all these places? I guess just because it's such a major city, you'll have these cool little additional places that you won't find anywhere else. Like the Starbucks that we're seeing here. The McDonald's, there's probably other places sort of that are similar in their own way. That's quite cool though.
And vice versa. We tried the espresso martini flight and this flatbread pizza and found a seat on the rooftop terrace with a view of the surrounding skyscrapers and nearby water tower. Also, the city's fancy shopping street called Oak Street is just around the corner. To cap off the night, we're heading over to River and Roast along the Chicago River for some light appetizers and a cocktail with a view of the river. If you're here on a Wednesday or a Saturday in the summer or a Saturday in December, head towards the lake to catch the free fireworks display near Navy Pier at 9 p.m. And with that, head back to the hotel to rest up for day 2 tomorrow.
Look at the scenery here, damn.
After a quick bite to eat at the hotel, head a few blocks east to the lake for a morning walk. Lake Michigan is absolutely beautiful and is a treasure for the city. There are miles of bike paths and walk.
Okay, there's a lot of beach. The beach goes all along. Wait, is this beach here or is that steps? Look at this. Mate, in the summer, Chicago must be unreal. I'm sorry, but it must be absolutely unreal. You've got such like nice looking coastlines. The water looks so blue as well. And you just literally got the city on your doorstep. That is so interesting. Oh damn, Chicago's a place that is, I mean, I knew it was obviously, again, I know it's a major city, so you're going to have a lot of options, but it's got a lot to it. A lot to it.
Walking trails along the waterfront from the north to the south sides of the city. The area east of Lakeshore Drive is generally public parkland, which is great for picnicking and gathering with friends to enjoy the outdoors. You can get up close to the water's edge along this pathway like we did, and get some great shots of the skyline and the boats out on the water. My dog absolutely loves the water and enjoyed every second of this walk. Make your way into Lincoln Park on the western side of Lakeshore Drive to see one of the most iconic viewpoints of the downtown skyline at North Pond. This is a quiet and peaceful spot to take in the city or grab an upscale meal at the North Pond restaurant. A few blocks south is the Lincoln Park Zoo.
Bro, this is unreal. Look at this view.
Which is popular with locals and is free to visit.
Damn. This is a crazy place, man.
If you have a dog, bring them to the nearby Belmont Harbor Dog Beach to play in the water, especially on a hot summer day.
It's got a dog beach as well. That is so cute.
Next, head over a couple blocks to Clark Street for a late lunch or coffee at Collective Coffee of Lincoln Park. Another recommendation for lunch is just a few blocks further west on Fullerton called the Bourgeoisie Pig Cafe. For the rest of this afternoon, make your way up Clark Street back to Wrigleyville for a tour of Wrigley Field.
Oh, here we go, baby. I'm
Tours
excited.
are only offered when the Cubs are not playing a homestand or when there are no special events happening at the stadium, like concerts.
Wait, what's going on here? Is this like a Christmas? Wait, is this video made during like not the summer? It looks so like blue. But there's lots of Christmas stuff here, and there was Christmas lights like in the day one where he was when he was going to the shopping district. So I'm very confused.
The tour slots book up quickly, so reserve early.
Unless it's an image from another time, maybe.
This historic stadium is one of the oldest in active use in Major League Baseball and perfectly blends in with the surrounding residential area. Walk around the outside perimeter
Okay, yeah, I think this is images from two different times.
to see the statues and tributes to Chicago Cubs legends, and snap a picture in front of the iconic red sign. For now, we'll head back to the hotel to get ready for a night on the town.
Ooh.
For dinner and a fun night out, there are a ton of options on the north side. You can check out the area along Clark Street in Wrigleyville, or head a couple blocks over to North Halsted Street in Boys Town for a fun night out. Chicago is also known for throwing big street festivals, so check out some local focused media like Time Out or Bucket Listers on social media to see if there's any fun food festivals happening near you, like this one in the Lakeview neighborhood. We have one more day to go on this Chicago adventure.
Look at this image as well. I mean, it just looks beautiful. I mean, look how many bridges there are here, by the way. This is like Venice level bridges. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 8 or 9 that I can see alone. Damn.
So back to the hotel we go. On this last morning, I'm grabbing a quick coffee and pastry from the coffee shop on the first floor of the hotel. If you're a hotel guest, your hot black coffee is free. We're jumping back on the train to the Loop for a walk along the Riverwalk. This pathway puts you close to the river and the passing boats to gaze up at the towering canyon of office and residential buildings.
Look at that, but look at the size
Some
of
are
that one
so
there.
unique, like the Marina City Towers, which were built in the 60s to be a city within a city.
Is this for parking your cars? Why would you want to go this high? Am I being stupid? I mean, there's cars all the way up here, and then there's no more. So I guess maybe they only go up to a certain level. I don't really know. No, there's one here. Maybe from here maybe this is the parking for like these apartments. Maybe. I'd assume so. You're not going to get cars all the way up here, are you?
City Towers, which were built in the 60s to be a city within a city.
What is this place? I don't even know what this is.
The grassy area at the bend in the river is one of my favorite spots just to take a break and watch the city go by.
See, that is cool.
If you have some time, I'd highly suggest taking one of the architecture boat tours. I've taken the speedboat tour version of the architecture tour, which takes you through the locks out onto Lake Michigan.
And these are the chairs, what are they called? Adirondack? The Adirondack chairs that Lawrence likes, Lost in the Pond. He loves these chairs. But this would be a cool view, man. Just looking at like when I go to London, I'm always like not in awe, but like when you see these huge buildings, it's always quite not a culture shock either. Just it's cool to see because where I'm from, there's not anything like this, and it's cool to see the stuff. But Chicago would be a whole another level, and you've got this view. That would just be really cool to just relax and just look at it. Just literally just look. Honestly, just have a rest and look at this stuff.
For a thrilling finale after learning about the second city's architectural gems. It's popular to kayak on the river, though it seems like a lot of work to navigate through the wake caused by the frequently passing tour boats in one of the busiest stretches of water in the country. We grabbed some sandwiches and salads for lunch from a cafe along the river called Goddess and the Baker, which is just over the bridge from the mart. Along the Riverwalk, there are some little pop-up shops selling souvenirs next to outdoor dining and a popular wine bar. From here, you could head towards the lake to Navy Pier and ride the Ferris wheel, or head to the beach to catch some rays. For a midday snack, head over to Cafe Creamery in River North for an afternoon coffee, pastry, or refreshing frozen rosé drink. This cute cafe serves some good gelato too. Before heading out to the airport, take one last stroll in Lincoln Park around the North Pond and the beautiful parkland near the Lincoln Park Zoo.
I love this view so much.
It's so peaceful to sit here on a park bench and reflect on the trip and the history.
This view is so cool. It's just like you're in like the greenery and like within the nature, but then you've got the whole city just beyond you.
Of this great American city.
The skyline, man.
Are you ready?
I can actually also see that these are apartments. I think you can tell. But damn, Chicago, man. Is there more to it?
Go to Chicago? Leave your thoughts and other recommendations in the comments. For more help planning your trip to Chicago, check out my Chicago video series playlist.
This damn beautiful city, man. Damn beautiful city. The video of the exotic vacation is interesting. Thank you. That's the thing though. In the summer, I feel like I'm not gonna say it gets exotic, but it must get obviously very hot. I know it gets very hot here, but like it seems like you're in another country. Then in the winter, it's freezing cold. It's just wild to me how it just contrasts so much. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this reaction. If you're from Chicago, let me know your thoughts on this. I'm assuming this is just like touching the surface. Like there's so much more you can do here. It's probably a very touristy video, sort of not looking at a lot of other things that you can do. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this reaction, and until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.